Hi guys, this is Gallifrey Customs and welcome back to a very different but special video today. So today I've got a bit of a different video for you all. I've been collecting a lot of unusual, what looks like prototypes that I've seen on eBay over the years, and I've just got some new ones, so I thought I would do a little quick showcase of each prototype I have, and just talk about where I got them from and the differences and so on. But yeah, obviously I'd like to start off by saying I don't claim that these are official prototypes. These are just figures that I've seen on eBay amongst a lot of proper Doctor Who figures. Well, they look like proper Doctor Who figures, mostly from China, and I've just looked at them and thought, that looks different, and I've then gone and bought them. So yeah, I'm going to whiz through them one at a time. I'll do a little bit on each. Some I have comparisons that I can show, others I don't. But for the most part, yeah, I'll show you all the differences between these and the official figures. And yeah, let's start. So I'm going to start off with this pair of Daleks. So these are actually my latest purchase. I have added weaponry onto them because they came with one of them came with the plunger missing, one came with the plunger and the eye missing, I think it was. And yeah, so these are the B&M Daleks that we got a couple of years ago. I think it may have been 2021 or 2020, I'm not 100% sure. And it's the Big Finish Daleks. So as you can see, the paint is quite different on both of them. I'm going to start off with this one. Now, I can't remember the name of the type of Dalek that it was, what they called it on the packaging. But this is the difference with the official one. So as you can see, the silver is a lot more vibrant on the prototype. And there is rings, silver rings around the hemispheres, and there's this funny writing on the side. I think it might actually be Chinese, but I'm not sure. I'm sure somebody might know Chinese and will be able to let me know down in the comments below. But yeah, that's really the difference. Like the bronze is the same colour, the helmet is the same colour. It's got slightly sticky, like it's been taped to something inside on the head, but other than that, it's the same colour. The little symbol, the ID tag, is exactly the same. So yeah, minor differences, but I just thought it's really cool. We've never really had character options Daleks with like a silver rim around the hemispheres, so I thought it was a special little cool thing to get. So yeah, that's that one. Now if I take that out and I bring the other one back in, and I believe this is something like a scientist Dalek or something like that, and you can see it's got the writing on the side. Now the colouring and the weathering is actually a lot closer to the Toys R Us Asylum Dalek that we got, which is rather interesting. The gold, sorry, is a lot more vibrant. The bronze is quite dirtied up, and again, it's got Chinese writing on the side. But yeah, I mean, if I compare this to what we actually got, and you can see a huge difference in the colour of the blue. Just absolutely mental, really, the difference. And then again, this one has silver rims round the hemispheres, whereas the official one didn't. It's all just one flat colour. So yeah, I thought that was really interesting. If I was to take a guess at where this has come from or what the origins are, I reckon this is probably a sample, and the other Dalek, that Character Options may have sent over to China to say, this is what we're looking for, or vice versa, China sent this back to Character Options to say, this is how it would come out as a final product, and then Character Options make notes and then send it back to China to work on and improve. That's a complete guess of mine. I'm sure somebody might have a bit more of an idea. It would even be great if somebody from Character, maybe Aldo, had an idea on the origins of this. But yeah, I thought it was really, really interesting. So yeah, anyway, we'll move on, but we'll continue with the theme of Daleks. And we have this, which is interesting. It looks to me like it's a partially painted sample of the Planet of the Daleks. Not Planet of the Daleks, Power of the Daleks, Star Dalek, with the yellow lights. Just a really weird piece to have, with some of the unpainted parts stuck on. This could very well not be a prototype. This could just be something that's come out of the factory. It's interesting, it's got a funny like crosshatch scratched into it, so I'm not sure what that is all about. If I zoom in, when it comes round you'll see. But yeah, I mean the silver is just as bright as all of the B&M Daleks, but it obviously doesn't have the blue painted on in anyway, so there it is. So yeah, a really interesting piece. I like the clear eye stalk and the plunger. But yeah, that's that one. And then the final Dalek, and this is the weirdest piece I managed to find. And it's this. It's a really weird mix of parts. And it kind of reminds me of the Weetabix Dalek, the Dalek from the Weetabix advert, with the vibrant red. It's got the neck rings from the Supreme Dalek from Planet of the Daleks. But then it's got a really random head. It looks like a Necros Dalek to me. And the eye stalk, I believe, is a resurrection of the Daleks eye stalk. And actually, the gun is from the very first Daleks, I think. But yeah, really, really weird. I don't think the plunger's intentionally bent like that. I think that's just how it came. I don't really want to tamper with it in case it snaps, but there we go. It does weirdly have a massive crack in the back of the helmet as well, or the dome. So yeah, that's all of the Daleks. Now, moving on, and another fairly large piece, and we'll make our way down to smaller ones. We've got the Crynoid. Oh, I'm going to have to zoom out. I'll move up. There we go. So, this is the Crynoid, and this was on eBay. So actually all of these were on eBay, and yeah, it's got a lot of different colours in it, different shades of brown and greens and all sorts, but where it looks the most interesting is if you compare it to what we officially got, and you'll probably be able to see that there's some sculpted elements on it that are different to the official one. And as far as I'm aware, this was originally planned to be a Build-A-Figure, released in a classic wave, but they changed their minds and they released it later down the line. The version that is the prototype actually has the the additional PVC bits that hang from it are from the Axon figure, just repainted all green, whereas they went back and they did new parts for the Crynoid that actually came out. So yeah, super interesting. I actually prefer the official one. I think the parts are better and I like how much more vibrant it is. But it is an interesting piece to have, so yeah, I do quite like it. So yeah. And then the next one, or ones, I'll do a few here, is a Roman and Amelia Pond, if I can get it to stand up, that is, and Amelia Pond again. And again, these, well, the Amelia Ponds look just like unpainted figures, as if the parts have been taken out of the factory and put together without being having any deco. The Roman is a bit more of an interesting one, because I think I saw back when the Doctor Who Toys net forum existed, Al Duar, the creative director, I believe, of Character Options, said that they did try and make some of the figures in white plastic, because they thought it might be better for painting them, and they scrapped it and they got rid of them. And this could potentially be an example of one that they decided to just get rid of. Another interesting shout out here, the head of the Auton, I keep saying Auton, but it's just a Roman. The Roman head is from, it's a digital scan or a hand sculpted scan, I'm not sure, of Ed Barnett Ward, who actually creates a lot of the 3D scans of the Doctor Who figures. So he's designed most of the heads recently, and quite a lot in the past, but not all of them. And that is actually his head that it's based on. He didn't design it himself. Somebody designed it based on his likeness. But yeah, really, really interesting. So yeah, let's move on. And I'm going to go with Cyberman. So the Ghost Cyberman, the Cybus one, was a lucky find on eBay. Somebody put it on eBay in China for £20, and I saw it and just immediately grabbed it there and then. And it's super, super cool. There's been so many different versions I've seen of this Cyberman. Some that are a lot more silver, but you shine a light through it and you see that it's clear. But this one is just pure clear, pretty much. It has got some darker shades on it, which is rather interesting. But as you can see, if I shine a torch through it, it's completely clear. So yeah, something a bit different. And then the other Cyberman, and I'm going to give a shout out here to Captain Jimmy Pie, who's a good friend of mine. He actually sold this to me, and yeah, I absolutely love it. He wasn't sure on the origins of it, and neither am I. I wonder whether it's just that the torso part was unpainted and it was all put together. But yeah, it's a nice little addition into the mix of just something a bit unusual that you don't normally see. So yes, that's that one. And then I have this, and this one's going to be a great battle to get it to stand up, but I will try my best. And it's Idris, as played by Saran Jones. And yeah, this one, it doesn't look very much like very different to the official one, but it actually is. The hair has a lot more lighter weathering in it. The face paint is painted quite differently. I wouldn't say better necessarily. I'm not overly keen on the sculpt in general, but yeah, not too bad. And then the dress is actually painted quite a lot differently. It's some parts it's much lighter, in other parts it's much darker. It has the tassels here are painted, whereas on the official they weren't. There's a little piece there where the sort of over part of the dress sits, but it was unpainted on the actual figure, whereas on this one they've included that detail. And then the ruffles at the bottom are very different too. Another interesting thing is on the arms, on the official figure, the darker green sort of lace is just randomly spread across the whole arm, whereas this one, it's painted directly on the sort of raised part of the surface where it's supposed to look like there's lace there, which is kind of hard to explain, but it just means it's super precise, whereas the other one, it was just sort of, they had random like green lines all over, and it wasn't necessarily sticking to the pattern. And then yeah, the final part is the green hands, which I have checked, they don't glow in the dark, but it's obviously just testing out the plastic, I'd imagine. But yeah, another very strange piece. And now moving on to the next bit, I'm going to go through the companions and the doctors that I have. So starting off with, we have Romana 1, which doesn't look very different if you just held it, but when you put it together with the official one, you can see there's a massive difference. The coat is almost neon on the official, whereas on the prototype it's very pale. And then if you look at the heads close up, there's a lot of paint differences there. So one is rather pale and the other one is quite tanned. Yeah, really unique. To my favourite prototype probably, just because I think it looks better than the actual figure that we ended up getting. Interestingly, at the time, I remember a leak coming out of a picture of this Romana figure before it got officially announced. And if you look at that picture, if anyone has it available and finds it anywhere, it's actually, it looks like it is this prototype rather than the official one that we got. It looks a lot paler, and the pink looks a lot paler as well. So yeah, very interesting piece. I can't actually remember where I got this from. It was such a long time ago. I think it might have actually been from a private seller on Facebook. But yeah, super cool. Really do love it. So moving on to the next one, and we have Perry. If I can get her to stand, that is. And this one again, you might look at and think, what is the differences? But it's actually very different. So here's the official one. Oh dear, not going well so far. Getting them to stand. So here we go. So the sample one is painted a lot more tanned. The pink jumpsuit, if that's what it's called, I don't really know what you call it, is a lot warmer in colour, I'd say. It's also slightly metallic, which I found really interesting. And then the face, I think, is painted much better. Again, I'll zoom in on the heads. But the makeup is painted quite differently. And I think it actually makes it look so much more like Nicola Bryant. So there we go. And funnily enough, to me, doing some bit of research on it, if you look at the reveal picture of this figure, it actually looks like the sample that I have here rather than the official version. Also, this to me, there was years ago, this Perry leaked on eBay. A seller was selling this one, and I think it was the Ghost Cyberman and the like glittery Anthony Ainley Master. And I have a feeling, and I think they had the 8th Doctor prototype as well before we actually got an 8th Doctor. But I think this is that one because it looks very much the same in colour, more tanned, etc. So yeah, that's that one. And then the final companion I have here is Yaz. And I just find this one really weird. The colour-wise, it's completely different to what we actually got for the Series 12 style Yaz. It's a lot more sort of, it's red, the leather jacket, rather than like a grey, brown, sorry, a dark brown. And the shirt is a lot more yellow. It's almost like mustardy yellow rather than like a really pale creamy colour, and the pattern's a lot more simplistic as well. The shoes look really, really bright too, but otherwise the paint is pretty much the same. It does have weathering over the coat, which I think is a really nice touch as well. But yeah, anyway, we're coming to the end of this video. The final part I've got is Doctors. So we'll start off with this. And again, I'm going to give a shout out to Captain Jimmy Pie because I bought this off him. And it's a completely unpainted 3rd Doctor. It's in that blue, I can't remember the name of the episode. Somebody will tell me below. But they did a 3rd Doctor in blue at B&M in like a bluey green suit, and it looks like it's that one. It's got the bow tie and the ruffly shirt, and then the trousers are in just a simple dark brown colour. But yeah, it's interesting when you do see unpainted prototypes like this, you can really see all of that mega fine detail in the sculpt, and it's absolutely gorgeous. All the curls in the hair and all of the wrinkles in the face. So it makes a very interesting prototype. So then, moving on next, we have the 10th Doctor. And it is his clear spacesuit, hologram version. Sorry, I'm tired today. I'm getting my words all jumbled up. He's in a clear, like, hologram look. And it looks very similar to the one we actually got. There's only a very minor difference that people picked up on, so I very quickly grabbed one, which is the glitter in the plastic. Also, the lines all over the suit are painted a lot more rough than on the actual one. But yeah, it was the glitter that everyone noticed and ordered them and bought them when they were appearing on eBay in China. So yeah, not much to say on that. It's quite simple. And then I've got 2 more. So this is another 10th Doctor, and I'm sure a lot of people will know of this one. This appeared on eBay, I don't think it was last year, I think it was the year before, and they've sold out very, very quickly because everyone just jumped on it. But it's a 10th Doctor with shoulder and bicep articulation. It's got a new coat on it as well, a brand new sculpt. It actually looks very, very similar to the 3.75 inch 10th Doctor's coat, which I don't think anybody's noticed before. But it is a new coat sculpt and new arms. And I don't have it on me at the moment, but turns out it was recently revealed in a podcast that this was planned to be released as a part of the B&M waves for 2022 in that 10th Doctor set. But at the last minute they had to change it because they then found out that David Tennant was coming back to be the 14th Doctor, and they reused the arms to make the 14th Doctor figure. So that's why that ended up happening. Who knows whether we'll ever get a articulated 10th Doctor one day, but I'd absolutely love it if we did. So yeah, that's another prototype that we got. Funnily enough, the paint on it, which I find really interesting, is not like the one that we did get in the B&M set. It's actually painted in the style of the 13 Doctors set, Shakespeare's Code 10th Doctor. So I don't know how it works, but I wonder if they have a certain paint template that they use, and they switched it over to the blue suits after they did this. But yeah, really, really interesting. So the final one that I have, and I've only picked this one as the last one because I was doing them in Doctor, the order of when they appeared. It's this one, which may not look hugely exciting, but it's the 11th Doctor in the outfit he wore in the Snowman, or the Snowmen, I can't remember, Snowmen, one of the two it's called, and the B&M version that they did ended up being in a really dark brown jacket and trousers, but this one looks like a mix between the original Snowman 11th Doctor we got and the B&M one. The thing that really interests me is that the fur collar on it is painted it's like more of a grey than a black, and funnily enough, when these sets first got revealed to us, the original pictures they revealed of it showed the 11th Doctor looking exactly like this prototype, not in the darker shades, in this exact shade with the grey collar on it. So that is what we ended up not getting, but this appeared on eBay and I snatched it up quite quickly. So yeah, another funny and interesting prototype. Sorry about the loud bang a second ago, I don't know what that was, but anyway, that is my prototype collection. I'm hoping I can grow it more, and I might do a part 2 eventually with some more additions that I get. But either way, thank you all so much for watching. Happy 2024. I know I did my last video was on Christmas Day, so this is my first 2024 video. I'm very excited for the new year. Hopefully we get lots of exciting new Doctor Who figures, hopefully some stuff from the 60th anniversaries, hopefully some stuff from series 1 as well. But yeah, thank you all for watching. Please like and subscribe, comment for more, and I will see you all soon.